Just thought I'd make a quick little video of my KT12-R Chinese mini excavator. So far so good. I leave the hatch open. I bought one of these heat blankets for the muffler, and I just leave it open. The muffler isn't actually pointed very well at the hole, as you can see by the black soot around half of the hole. But I just leave it open. I haven't installed fans or anything, and it doesn't seem to get totally hot in there. It didn't seem to get very hot in there when I didn't have the blanket on the muffler. So heat isn't a real big concern on this machine, I guess. Not a huge concern anyway. I'm sure it could be cooler. I broke one of these zip ties. Apparently it's not enough for the job I was asking it to do, but I had my electric chainsaw strapped to the back there, which I'm gonna continue doing that, but I'm gonna fix it and put a stronger zip tie in there is what I'm gonna do. I got a little fire extinguisher for it, fire extinguisher mount. I put a cup holder for my Bluetooth speaker, got a phone holder, got the pilot controls. I'm gonna mount a mod deuce on the roof. But so far I have 16.8 hours on this puppy, and I don't want to speak too soon, but it's been nothing but a pure joy. It's done a load of work. It has done a ton of work. I'll show you this whole area. I planted a couple the whole reason for doing this so I could have a couple good spots to put a couple of pawpaw trees. I'm doing all this for the pawpaws, but this whole area looked like this. We got that Oriental bittersweet vine that goes up and tears all the trees down. It's horrible shit. But now this is what we're working with, and that little machine and my cheesy little Greenworks electric chainsaw did all of it. Bunch of scrap metal I found buried in the dirt. The electric company came through. You can see the wires up there, but the electric company came through this spring and they cut down a couple of cherry trees. And this is a small log. It's only 6 feet long or so, but there's a bunch of logs. You can see full-size trees they took down. So totally impressed with this. It's a burn pile I got going there. I'll set this on fire next time it rains. But yeah, this thing's kicking ass. And it's just a little teeny baby machine, but it pulled all these logs out of here. That's another 6-footer. And more astoundingly, pulled a couple 600-pounders, 700-pounders, and carried them over here, and I dropped them. That's where I put them. That little fat one there's no joke. These are no joke. These things are like 18 feet long. They're big logs. They're full-size cherry. So yeah, no messing around. You got to curl the arm on it, of course. It's not going to hold them at arm's length, but hell, I picked them up and I drove them over here. I managed my balance and everything, made sure I wasn't going to go overboard and ass over tea kettle. Here's the bucket it came with. There's the old thumb, because I replaced the thumb with a hydraulic. I just did that today. And I'll tell you what, if you buy one of these rakes, they are made out of the steel from who knows what, but it's basically Play-Doh. It's soft steel. I didn't abuse that very hard. I abused the hell out of that bucket. The bucket looks fine. But this, that rake, I'm going to definitely have to bend that back, and I'll probably weld some gussets between the tines to strengthen it up and put it right back to work. But yeah, even the silly little LED light they put in it, that puts out enough light to let you see what you're doing right in front of the machine. people joke and laugh about these Chinese grease fittings. They give you the special pin grease tip thing right in your tools box that it comes with. So I just screwed that onto my grease gun and started pumping it full. I didn't even use the grease gun they sent. Oh, they send you a grease gun, by the way. But I am overall quite impressed with this thing. It has the, it doesn't have the bad drive motors that the, what is it, the MX12R or whatever, the BMER 305 or whatever, the bad motors. This doesn't have those. It is slow as hell. I haven't adjusted the tracks. I haven't found any loose nuts or bolts on it. It came with hardly any hydraulic fluid in it. It came with a cup, literally like 1 cup of gas in it. Like some things are junky. Like this is just a CFG Industries. This is just like a clear sticker, you know. So it's not even fully on. Like, but I don't care. I could give a shit less. This is not a luxury machine. And look at the freaking work it has put in. This thing kicks ass. I paid, well, I bought it in New York. I live in New Hampshire. I bought it in New York, so I got screwed on sales tax, which I'm not used to paying. But I paid $2,300 at the auction 2 weeks ago. And this is August of 2026. And after the 13% seller's premium to the house and the sales tax, I was out the door down the road for $2,800. I think $2,805 or something like that. So overall, really impressed with the little bugger. Oh, it gets crazy fuel. It's very fuel efficient. I think 1 tank of gas gets me like 6 hours of work or something like that. It's crazy. I had to figure it out. It's a lot. What I don't like that the key is up and down, because if it gets rained on, rain's going into that key cylinder and it's gonna rust it. That's gonna suck. I don't like that this is here. I would like it to be like here or something. And also this doesn't really lock in. Oh, I guess it kind of locked in there, but it doesn't really lock into any position. This is the throttle. It doesn't really lock into any particular position. It could, which I guess this button is for show. So it does squish, but it doesn't really make any difference whether it's pushed down or not. It doesn't do anything. Fantastic. It's got the controls shut off, so you can lock them. It's got the little headlight button. This is very handy, like almost necessary, because I got a big butt, and when I'm getting off the machine for a sec to do something, if I hit this arm, the house is going to swing left. If I just try to climb down off the machine and my butt catches this, or my pant leg or something. So I just lock the controls and everything goes dead. These stay live. The drive ones stay live. The thumb stays live. So this valve body stays live. But these aren't the ones I'm going to hit anything on. These I will hit stuff on. So, yeah, again, I haven't installed any cooling fans. It doesn't seem like I've needed to. It hasn't gotten super hot in there. I mean, maybe it would on a really hot day or something. We've had a bunch of 75, 80 degree days, which is not bad. There's such a thing. It looks identical to it, if you ask me, called the KT12-R. But apparently that one has a stick that is like 8 inches longer than this stick. But it may be also not. I'll show you the badge on this one. So KT12-R, 810 kilograms. Who knows if that's accurate at all? What does this say? Yeah, engine's the R420. It's a good engine. It's the same engine that Harbor Freight sells on the shelf as a Predator for like $400. So I'm not worried about the engine going bad. The only thing I'm worried about are the hydraulic motors, and they seem fine. They seem fine. Twin motor. I'll probably go through and adjust the pressures on this motor and the valve bodies, just so maybe, you know, if you are activating one function, say you're turning the house, you can't really do it while you're moving because the pressure just drops to zero. There's just not enough pressure to do two things at once. But I think with some adjustment, it will make that better. I haven't noticed any jerkiness. I'm not an excavator expert, of course, but I haven't personally noticed any excessive jerkiness that I couldn't handle. I just keep the machine. I mean, it does all of its work on low idle. It just sits there thumping along. It's the only time I crank it up at all is if I want to like move somewhere, because it is slow as molasses. I pulled out this. I already burned a pile just like this. And now I have to burn this one. But hell yeah. If you're thinking about getting one of these things, I can at least attest to this KT12-R. I heard that the H15Rs are good ones. People only seem to have problems with the MX12, whatever. I think they're all by the same factory. They're just all slightly different. But this little thing pushes tons of dirt around. I mean, it doesn't mess around. It loves to work. It loves to work. I've been impressed with it. I don't know what it would have cost me to have somebody come do all this work with their own excavator. They probably would have charged me a couple $1,000. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably well into my money now at this point. So found somebody who knows how many decades ago buried a bunch of scrap steel out here. So watch yourself when you're doing this, because you'll have a sharp, pokey piece of fencing come up through the bottom of your sneaker and poke you in the heel too. But that's getting out of here. I'm happy about that. Got plenty of firewood for the bonfire. I'm actually going to take those logs up to my buddy's house and throw them on a sawmill. So I'll have some nice cherry lumber. But this is going to go out too. I've also, the only thing I don't like, let's see, not the only thing I don't like, but one of the other things I don't like is the floorboard. I took this off, but there's no real way to screw it back on because the nuts were on the bottom, and there's no real way to get, like, I don't know, maybe I could put an extension up through there to get these nuts on. I just took it off so I could check the, let's see if I can take this off. I just took it off so I could check the stuff in here to see how things are doing in here. Nothing's leaking in here. Nothing needed to be tightened down in here. Everything, knock on wood, everything worked. And everything was hunky-dory with this machine. My temperature gauge for my hydraulic got up to 140 today, which is about the max you would ever want to have your hydraulics. So I shut it off and gave it time to cool. But hell, man, I ran it like crazy for like 4 straight hours today, 5 hours maybe. And I have not one single bad thing to say about this little buggy. So psyched. I don't know, when I'm done with it, I might sell it, and I don't know, maybe I'll get a Ripa, like one of those Ripa 10s, but I don't know, it's paid for. I paid cash for it, so $2,800. The way I see it, it owes me nothing at this point. Damn near nothing. 17 hours worth of work on it. I pulled all this crap out. My mom's visiting, and she hasn't been here in, I don't know, 6 months. but she knows what my yard looks like back here. And she said, holy cow, you just bought yourself a whole bunch more new land. And she's right. I opened up this backyard like crazy with that. I'm going to get rid of that birch tree. And I'm going to tear all this scrub out too. And I'm going to plant a bunch of blueberries and honeyberry and maybe some asparagus down here. Nothing really happens with this. That over there is getting scrubbed out too. And I'll probably plant a bunch of elderberry over there. But I'm so psyched that this little machine has made it possible for me to really improve my little slice of heaven here. We have just shy of 1 acre, and these giant old cherry trees are just everywhere. And that and the vines that are trying to kill them. We're in a fight with the vines, and down through the woods there's a ditch, so I'm going to make a path for my wife, and we're going to plant mint and dill down in the ditch because that stuff loves water. And but I think that's really cool. If we try to do this by hand or pay somebody to do it, man, it would suck. It'd absolutely be horrible. This thing it hasn't been easy, but it's 10,000 times better than doing it by hand, and it's fun. Not gonna lie, this thing's just fun. Not much more to say about it than it's kind of a ball. It's a silly little Tonka toy, but it works, and it seems proud of itself. But if you want to see anything more on this, if you want to see me put it to work, maybe I'll make some videos, let me know. Just say so, and I'll make another video about it. And likewise, if anything goes wrong with it, I'll make a video about that too. Haven't had a problem with the tracks falling off or anything like that. I'm not stupid with it. I don't do stupid things with it. I don't ask it to, picking up those suckers is kind of a stupid ask, but it complied. It went with it. And that was 2 of those were out here before I put the hydraulic thumb on it. I used the old hunk of junk thumb that was, fixed thumb. I did that with that and the bucket. And today I used the rake and the hydraulic thumb to bring the other 2 out. So, but yeah, this thing makes this tool makes bonfires is what it does. So, what else am I going to do with it? I'm going to level a piece of the property so we can put in a patio, like a stone patio for my wife, a place to eat outside, a place to entertain people. And I was going to pay somebody to come do that. And then I got this and I was like, man, I bet I could do that job with that stupid little excavator. For sure I can. It loves putting the foot down in the front and pushing soil. It's not something I've used it a lot for, but like on these little inclines and stuff, it can feel a little wonky and top heavy, so I just push a little dirt in front of me and level it out, and then I can sit wherever I want to sit. Really cool little machine. I found out about these and I was like, oh, I don't need one of those. Okay, I'm gonna start shopping for those. Next thing you know, a week later it's sitting in my backyard and kicking ass, taking names. But anyway, I don't need to make a short video long, but let me know if you have any questions or you want to see it pressed into action. I'll just fire it up for you and we'll call it a video. So what we're going to do is pull out the choke, turn on the battery kill, give it a little throttle. That's it. Absolute champion. That's it. All right, have a good one.